Are you struggling with sugar addiction? It's a question many of us ask ourselves, but what does it really mean? Well, in the simplest terms, sugar addiction is the overwhelming desire to consume sweet things. It's a common issue affecting a significant portion of our global population, but don't worry, we're here to help you navigate this sugar-coated maze. You see, sugar addiction doesn't just mean you're reaching for candy bars and soda all day. It can take many forms, like that morning coffee with just a bit too much sweetener or those healthy snacks that are secretly loaded with sugars. It's a sneaky adversary hiding in plain sight. The good news is we're about to embark on a journey to get a grip on this sweet menace. We'll share some simple and practical tips and guide you on how to maintain a low-sugar lifestyle. Remember, knowing is half the battle, and you've taken the first step just by being here. So what's the big deal about sugar anyway? Well, let's dive into that. Sugar in its various forms is a simple carbohydrate that our bodies convert into glucose for energy. However, the way our bodies deal with sugar is where things get tricky. When we consume sugar, our blood glucose levels spike, prompting our pancreas to release insulin, a hormone that helps our cells absorb the sugar. This is a perfectly normal process, but it becomes a problem when we consume excessive amounts of sugar. You see, when we regularly consume high amounts of sugar, our pancreas works overtime to produce enough insulin. Over time, our cells can become resistant to insulin, leading to higher blood sugar levels and eventually health conditions like type 2 diabetes. But that's not all. Sugar is a sneaky beast. It triggers the release of dopamine in our brains, the happy hormone, which gives us a feeling of pleasure. This is why sugar is so addictive. It's not just about the sweet taste, but the rush we get from the dopamine release. Now let's talk about health risks. Regularly consuming excessive sugar can lead to weight gain and obesity, as sugar is high in calories but low in nutritional value. This means you're eating empty calories that don't fill you up, so you eat more. Obesity in turn increases the risk of heart disease, certain types of cancer, and other serious health conditions. Sugar also has a direct impact on our heart health. It increases the level of unhealthy fats in our bloodstream, which can lead to heart disease. And let's not forget about our teeth. Sugar feeds the bacteria in our mouths, leading to tooth decay and cavities. So while sugar might taste like a sweet treat, it's really a Trojan horse, hiding a host of health risks. Remember, it's not about cutting out sugar completely, but about understanding its effects and managing our intake. Sugar might taste sweet, but its effects are anything but. They say out of sight, out of mind, but hidden sugars are still a problem. Now let's talk about the sugar ninjas. Yes, those sneaky little granules hiding in plain sight in some of our favorite foods and drinks. We're not talking about the obvious culprits like candies, cakes, and sodas. No, we're looking at the undercover agents of the sugar world. Let's start with bread. Yes, you heard it right. That seemingly innocent loaf of bread could be harboring hidden sugars. It might seem like a wholesome choice, but many breads, especially the processed kind, often contain added sugars. The same goes for sauces. That tangy barbecue sauce or that creamy salad dressing might be a sugar trap. And let's not forget about our favorite coffee drinks. Sure, they give us that much needed boost in the morning, but they can also deliver a hefty dose of hidden sugar. That caramel macchiato or pumpkin spice latte, they might as well be dessert in a cup. So how can we unmask these sugar ninjas? Well, it all comes down to becoming a savvy label reader. Nutrition labels are like a secret decoder ring for hidden sugars. Look for terms like glucose, fructose, corn syrup, and anything ending in ose. These are all code words for sugar. Also, pay attention to the order of ingredients. Ingredients are listed in order of quantity, so if sugar is listed as one of the first few ingredients, that's a red flag. Another tip is to check the sugars section on the nutrition facts label. This includes both natural and added sugars. But don't be fooled by zero-G sugars. This doesn't necessarily mean it's sugar-free. It could still contain sugar alcohols or other sweeteners. And remember, not all sugars are bad. Natural sugars found in fruits and dairy products come with essential nutrients. It's the added sugars we need to watch out for. Knowledge is power. The more you know about where sugar hides, the better you can avoid it. Ready to kick that sugar habit? Here are some practical tips. First, let's tackle hydration. Drinking more water not only keeps you hydrated, but it also helps reduce sugar cravings. When you're dehydrated, you might mistake thirst for hunger and reach for a sugary snack. So, the next time you feel a sugar craving coming on, reach for a glass of water instead. Next, focus on incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your diet. These natural goodies are packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and they also contain natural sugars that can satisfy your sweet tooth. So, swap out that candy bar for an apple or those chips for some carrot sticks. Another great way to reduce sugar intake is by choosing whole foods over processed options. Processed foods often contain hidden sugars, so by opting for whole foods like lean meats, whole grains, and fresh fruits and vegetables, you're already cutting out a significant amount of sugar. And speaking of hidden sugars, be sure to read food labels. Many foods, even those marketed as healthy, can contain a surprising amount of sugar. Watch out for words like syrup, nectar, or anything ending in "ose." These are all code words for sugar. Also, try to cook more meals at home. When you prepare your own meals, you have total control over what goes into them. You can choose fresh, whole ingredients and significantly reduce the amount of sugar in your diet. Lastly, don't beat yourself up if you slip up. Changing dietary habits is a process, and it's okay if you have a sugary treat now and then. The key is moderation. So there you have it. Practical, easy-to-follow steps that can help you reduce your sugar intake. Remember, it's not about completely eliminating sugar from your diet, but rather making smarter choices to reduce your intake. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. Great, you've reduced your sugar intake, but how do you keep it that way? Well, it's not as tough as you might think. The key is to not just make changes, but to make them stick. Let's chat about some strategies that can help you maintain a low-sugar lifestyle. First off, meal planning. This can be your secret weapon in the war against sugar. By planning your meals in advance, you ensure that you've got nutritious, low-sugar options ready to go when hunger strikes. And remember, it's not just about what you're eating, but also when. Regular meals help keep your blood sugar levels stable, warding off those pesky sugar cravings. Another strategy is mindful eating. This is about being present in the moment and paying attention to what you're eating and why. Are you actually hungry, or are you bored, stressed, tired? Mindful eating helps you recognize and manage emotional eating, which is often a big culprit in high sugar consumption. Now let's talk about your favorite sugary treats. It's perfectly fine to enjoy a sweet treat occasionally, but the trick is to find healthier alternatives that still satisfy your sweet tooth. Love soda? Try sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice. Can't resist chocolate? Opt for dark chocolate, which is lower in sugar and has some other health benefits too. It's also important to remember that maintaining a low-sugar lifestyle doesn't mean you have to be perfect all the time. It's about progress, not perfection. So, if you have a day where you indulge a bit more than you should, don't beat yourself up. Just get back on track the next day. And finally, remember to be patient with yourself. Changing habits takes time. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem, and keep moving forward. Staying sugar-free isn't a one-time thing, it's a lifestyle change. And you know what? You're perfectly capable of making that change. So here's to a healthier, low-sugar you. You've got the tools, now it's time to put them into action. We've journeyed together through unmasking sugar and its effects, spotting those sneaky hidden sugars, and learning practical ways to reduce sugar intake. But remember, this isn't an overnight transformation. It's about progress, not perfection. You're now armed with the knowledge to make informed decisions about your diet. You know where sugar hides, and you've got a toolbox of techniques to cut down on your sugar intake. It's time for you to take that first step. Maybe it's swapping out your morning cereal for a healthier option, or perhaps it's simply being mindful of reading food labels. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Each sugar-free choice is a leap towards a healthier you. Don't be too hard on yourself. Celebrate your wins, learn from your slips, and keep moving forward. You're not alone in this journey. Together, we can kick sugar to the curb.